What happens when a legendary thriller like Drishyam, a film that redefined Indian cinema, finally meets its spiritual successor Thudarum after a decade? Can a 2025 mystery live up to the legacy of a classic? Today we pit two cinematic heavyweights against each other, Drishyam versus Thudarum. Let's break it all down. Hey, welcome back. This is Dr. M and welcome to the movie experience. Drishyam, directed by Jittu Joseph, gave us the story of Giorgio Day, a simple cable TV operator who manipulates time, perception and memory to protect his family after a crime. A masterclass in layered storytelling and suspense. Thudarum, directed by Tharun Murthy, picks up thematically where Drishyam left off but in a completely different context. Rather than focusing on concealment, Thudarum explores revelation, consequences, and the psychological toll of living a lie. It shifts the focus to the next generation, offering a more emotionally intense and morally complex narrative. When Drishyam is about strategy and suspense, Thudarum leans into emotional weight and thematic maturity. Anil Johnson's score in Drishyam was minimalistic but tense, perfectly underlining the slow burn nature of the film. It didn't demand attention but subtly guided your emotions. Thudarum, on the other hand, features a more orchestral ambient score by one of my favorite music directors, Shakespeare Joy, blending melancholy and foreboding. The music is more noticeable and adds cinematic grandeur to the movie. Drishyam wins on subtlety. Thudarum scores high in emotional and cinematic impact. Sujit Vasudev's work in Drishyam captured rural Kerala in a grounded and realistic manner. The camera lingered just enough to immerse us in the world without any kind of stylization. In Thudarum, cinematographer Shaji Kumar opts for a colder, more polished visual tone, symbolizing the emotional distance between the characters. There's more dynamic framing and drone work. Drishyam was intimate, Thudarum is cinematic. Different but both very effective. Drishyam had very minimal physical action. Its intensity came from tension and the brilliant dialogues that the director built all through the movie very evenly. Thudarum includes a few more physical confrontations, particularly in its third act, choreographed with realism but elevated by better stunt coordination. Thudarum brings more physical drama, but Drishyam proved that a thriller really doesn't need any punches to hit hard for it to work. Drishyam's screenplay was airtight. Every detail planted early paid off. It was a writing masterclass in suspense. Thudarum, on the other hand, attempts a more layered structure with multiple timelines and shifting perspectives. It's more ambitious but sometimes sacrifices clarity for complexity. Drishyam still remains the gold standard, while Thudarum is bold but occasionally uneven. Well, Drishyam kept its design very minimal, very true to life. Sets were simple and enhancing realism. Thudarum, with a bigger budget, explores more elaborate interiors and even some subtle VFX, which were used sparingly to recreate the flashback moments and to enhance the storytelling. Thudarum shows how Malayalam cinema has grown technically, but Drishyam's simplicity worked in its favor. Jittu Joseph's direction in Drishyam was laser-focused, slow and deliberate, but with a pulse you could feel in every frame. Thudurum's director Tharun Kumar brings a new flavor, faster cuts, more modern pacing and emotional direction. It may not be as revolutionary as the contemporary cinemas that we see nowadays, but it is bold in its own right. And Drishyam was a classic when it comes to direction. Thudarum is more contemporary and emotional. See, different eras and different strengths and different vibes. Well, you see, Drishyam was a sleeper hit. That's exactly the word I want to use. Word of mouth made it a phenomenon. It led to a lot of remakes in multiple languages and even a sequel. Well, Thudarum had a huge marketing push owing to its big budget. Teasers, AR posters and OTT partnerships. It made a bigger opening weekend, but hasn't it reached Drishyam's iconic status? Roughly, Drishyam made around 75 crores worldwide, while Thudarum did a whopping 102 crores in its opening day and is still counting, especially with a strong international pull. Thudarum wins in opening numbers and global strategy, but Drishyam's long-term cultural impact unmatched. So, which is a better movie? If you value slow burn, precision, and legacy, Drishyam is an undisputed champion. If you are into modern storytelling, emotional depth, and cinematic polish, Thudarum is a worthy successor. Both reflect the evolution of Malayalam cinema from raw brilliance to refined mastery. So, why don't you tell me in the comments if you would vote for Drishyam or Thudarum? Which one stole your heart and why? And while you're about it, and if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe because I have a lot more deep dives of the best Indian cinema and world cinema coming your way. Wanna come against Dr. M with the Movie Experience Samuga Valaithala channel.